Hello, everybody. Rabbi David here, your Torah Tech Guy, with another it's actually going to be a Y2 today. Hey, everybody. How is it going? I'm Rabbi David, your Torah Tech Guy, and I'm here to share with you every day great tech for your great Torah. So usually I do a how-to on Wednesdays, but today I actually want to do a Y2 because one of the most wait a second. I got to pull this up. One of the most distracting things when you're sharing Torah, when you're leading a service, when you're teaching, is when you're on Zoom or any of these other platforms, is feedback, which is caused when your microphone can hear your speakers. Now, mild feedback typically sounds like an echo, where everything the speaker says is repeated. But aggressive feedback sounds more like a squealing amplifier at a rock concert, and it's not something you want to experience on a Zoom call. Now, obviously, you need to be able to hear the other people on your call, but doing that by just using the built-in speakers in your computer or your phone can lead you to run into some issues, because traditional computer speakers tend to cause problems with feedback and echo. So what do? Well, you use headphones or something like it. So there are a few different options. The first is over-the-ear headphones. Now, over-the-ear headphones are great because they'll block out a lot of the sound around you. They'll really isolate your sound, but they look a little silly when you're in a video call, and they also can be fatiguing to wear. So if you have meeting after meeting, or if you're teaching a long class or leading a service, a digital service, I definitely would not choose over-the-ear headphones because it can look a little unprofessional, and again, it can be fatiguing to wear. It's also can be very difficult if you're moving around, if you're doing Torah yoga, or if you're playing guitar or an instrument while you're leading services, then it can be really difficult to wear those also. The other option, or another option, say, are earbuds, right? Using either the wired earbuds that we all get. Do we still get those with iPhones? I don't remember. But the wired earbuds that we used to get with iPhones or Samsung phones, or AirPods, or I actually have here, what are these called? Samsung Galaxy Buds that I sometimes will use. I'm an Android guy, not an iPhone guy, and these were also cheaper, and they're really tiny and they're nice. And let me see, I don't even think you'll be able to see if I put this in. You can kind of see it, right? A little bit, but they're very discreet and they're nice, right? They don't they allow you to hear things without really getting in the way. One of the problems is that if you're using what are they called? AirPods? If you're using AirPods or any of these Bluetooth things, is that if you're relying on Bluetooth isn't the strongest of technologies. And so you can drop out, and that's always dangerous. So if you have the option of going with something wired, I would definitely do that. If you're dealing with music, if maybe you're in a meeting that has music playing, they're not necessarily going to give you the best sound isolation. And so it can be a little unpleasant when using things like this for a long period of time. But the next option, which is what I use, are little in-ear monitors. So these in-ear monitors, these are I forget what they're called, IMEE maybe. And you can see they're just these little tiny guys. They go over my ear. I wonder if I could get can I get a close-up of this? I probably could. This is going to be weird. This is going to be a close-up of my head. Ready? All right. So here's the in-ear monitor. If I just take it out, you can see it's just a little, just like on a regular earphone, but this one goes over my ear and then sticks in, and then it runs down my back. So you can't barely even see that I'm wearing anything because they sit flat in my ears and it runs down my back. Now, it's important to note that with none of these options, would I use the built-in microphone, especially if using AirPods or Galaxy Buds or Samsung ear things, right? Especially if it's wireless, but even if you have a wired headset, I would still opt to use, if it's an option, a separate USB microphone. But for just monitoring, for just hearing what's going on, for listening to your participants, for being able to hear, even if you're playing music, to be able to hear that also, I would definitely recommend one of these three. And my personal favorite is the in-ear monitors, again, because they lie flat and they're almost not even noticeable. So 3 interesting options for you to think about: either the headphones or the earbuds, wired or not, or in-ear monitors. By the way, these in-ear monitors that I'm wearing, I think they were $40. I mean, these are not, it's certainly not more expensive than AirPods or something like that. But if you have AirPods, you may want to use those because you have them handy. So that's a why too, about why we should always use earbuds. And I'll tell you that I've had some guests on my shows. I've done some live video production, and there are 2 things I always tell people. Number 1, make sure you're plugged into Ethernet. Number 2, make sure you're wearing earbuds. They never listen to me. And at the end of the day, it makes you, the presenter, the teacher, the speaker, the rabbi, the cantor, the educator, sound better. It's about you. It makes you sound better because you don't have to worry about echo or feedback or any of that other stuff. It gives your participants a much more pleasant experience. It's easier on them because they're not having to worry about any audio issues. It really is just sort of fundamental and vital when you're doing these meetings, these multicasting meetings or programs or education or anything like this, that you just try and do the basic minimum of making sure that you're using earbuds in which to monitor the meeting and whatever you're putting out there. That's my why too. Tomorrow on Synagogue Tech Forum at 3 p.m., we have this amazing, it's the most incredible Zoom machine you've ever seen with Rabbi Dan Moskovitz. It's really going to be fantastic. I hope you'll join us. TorahTechGuy.tv is where you'll find that. And don't forget to join me next week for another episode of The Future is Starting Now and all the other shows that I've got coming up. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the day. See you later. Don't forget to get earbuds.